Good thing it isn't yours.
In China, you cannot drive with an international permit.
Of course not.
Go.
In China, you have to take a test that is 100 questions to get your driving permit, or else you can't drive.
If you fail the test the first time, you don't have to pay the second time.
You're excused if you have foreign licenses.
If you get in an accident in China, you have to pay 100 yuan to the other person.
Like America, if you see accident in China on the road, you must call the police.
In China, you can only drive 19 miles per hour in a city road.
43 miles per hour on a major road in a city.
62 miles per hour on the express road.
Right. 75 miles per hour on the expressway.
You'll pay a fine of 2,000 yuan if you go over the speed 118 miles per hour. You also have the possibility of losing your license.
Whatever you do in China, you have to be careful because the Chinese government has strict rules.
In US, driving is a little bit different.
In the US, cars can only go 70 miles per hour in rural areas and 65 miles per hour in urban areas.
Minnesota state drivers must drive with care.
No one is allowed to go higher than the speed limit in US.
If you're caught driving over the speed limit, you will be fined.
The average speed on Highway 610 is around 60 miles per hour.
But the speed limit on 610 is actually 65 miles per hour.
There's always pros and cons to coming to should you speed.
Some pros of not speeding is that it decreases the chances of you getting in a deadly accident.
The other pros of not speeding is you and the people around you will be safer.
If I like punching
Some of the
keys,
cons of the
just
speeding
or
is
you just
you'll
leave
be
it.
late to the place where you want to go.
A con would be that sometimes not speeding can slow down traffic.
When we look at the pros and cons of driving, it's obvious that the best thing to do is not to speed.
Speeding or driving over speed limit has very bad consequences on everybody.
First of all, speed is causes a road safety problem.
Speeding increases your chances of getting into an accident.
In around 30% of the speeding accidents, speed is an essential contributory factor in accidents. Firstly, speed affects the risk of being involved in an accident.
At a higher speed, it is more difficult to react in time to prevent an accident.
Speeding is also affect the consequence of getting injured while being in traffic. So the higher the speed you go, you most likely get injured, and most of the energy that get absorbed will basically hit your vertebral body part, which will end up in bad consequences.
Studies have shown that higher speeds indicate higher probabilities of accidents.
Speed has some negative effects on the environment and the economy.
If you speed, you'll get a speeding ticket.
The average cost of a speeding ticket is roughly about $100, but the real cost comes in when you're paying for your insurance that goes up. So when those rates go up, they generally go up. For your first ticket, about $100. On your second ticket, $200 annually, and on your third ticket, $300.
If drivers don't follow the speeding signs on roads and they get caught, they'll have to pay or else to go to court and plead their case. Finding drivers who speed is a form of law enforcement that's supposed to scare drivers into not speeding.
Let's say you're taking a trip here from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota to Chicago, Illinois. Well, if you're driving and if you're obeying the line and following the speed limit, you'll get there in about 7 hours. But if you decide the other way and try to speed up, you'll get there in 6 hours. So you don't save a lot of minutes, you only save about 1 hour, which doesn't make a difference.
The average trip to my work usually takes me about 20 minutes, but if I speed it, it's about 18. It's not really saving me any time.
So if I was obeying the law of traffic and I was coming here to school from my house, it would just take about 5 minutes. But if I decided not to, basically it would just take me about 4 minutes, which doesn't really make a difference.
So our conclusion is that driving fast and speeding is not the way. Follow posted speed limits and get to places safely.